Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, WBC, all that good stuff. It's nice to be able to actually talk about proper boxing news. Not that none of the news we've had over the last few months has been proper, but it's been very kind of intermittent. It's been hit and miss news. You know, we've all noticed that smaller YouTubers, spoke with Ade, spoke with Hatman, we all noticed it as well, that, our channels aren't growing the way they were. It's I was getting like 150 subs a month prior to all the stuff that's happening in the world, and on a really good month, really good month, I could do 100,000 views. That's just fallen by the wayside now since what's happened. So with the news about AJ Fury, with Dillian Whyte, with Canelo, stuff like that, with boxing being back, even if it's behind closed doors, it's really helped. You're noticing the channel get back to life a bit more now. That's not to say it's been dead. I've been uploading frequently, just not as frequently as I would like to, because there's just not been enough news. And that's advice for anyone who's starting a YouTube channel or has one that is quite small. You need to upload as much as you can, even if you're scramping for any news. Just find it. Just don't make up the news though. That will get you in trouble. Or don't just advise. I've seen people do this. Don't put misleading headlines on some of your videos, because I've seen one person who interviewed Conor Benn and they put down WBA world champion Conor Benn speaks to me. I was like, what the fuck? We're not stupid. We're not stupid. I did see that in the interview with Conor Benn once. I'm not going to name the channel, but I laughed when I saw that. So anyway, back onto the topic here. I'm going to quote what Frank Warren had to say. Now, Frank Warren is having his say on Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, obviously, as we know, WBC mandatory challenger, but in the wake of what has happened with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, their fight being announced, 2 fight deal being announced, Dillian Whyte announced today that he's looking to go down the legal road. I think he's already gone down that road, and I don't know if that's the best road to go down personally, because my way of looking at it is it can go 2 ways. One, you win and you get your shot next year, but there's no guarantee you'll win that fight. And if you lose and you keep on boxing and you want to get another crack at the WBC title, well, I would imagine you're going to find it quite hard to get ranked by an organisation you just took down to court and prevented an undisputed fight. I would imagine they're probably not going to give you favourable treatment. If the other option is, if the court case drags on, well, you could end up having to wait 2022 anyway. So, I don't know, maybe not the best idea for Dillian Whyte, but then again, what other options did he have, I suppose, apart from fight for another title? Now, Frank Warren said here, and he's basically blaming Eddie Hearn for this. So, he said, if I were him, I'd be asking questions about my promoter. Has my promoter been able to get me those fights? He's on about Eddie Hearn here. He's on about suing the WBC, but there doesn't seem to be a problem with that. Okay, very badly written, whoever wrote that. If Dillian was with me, he'd have fought for a world title by now. That is the quote of old Mr. Fish Eyes, Frank Warren himself. Mr. Burns himself, Frank Warren. So, thoughts on that? Well, a lot of things I can take from that. If Dillian Whyte was with Frank Warren, would he have fought for a world title? Well, he's alluding to the fact that Dillian Whyte hasn't fought for a world title yet. Okay, but he's not speaking of the fact that Dillian Whyte has had opportunities to fight for world titles. He could have had that IBF mandatory spot against Kubrat Pulev if he took that fight in Bulgaria. I don't know if it was meant to be in Bulgaria, but I know there was a purse bid. He could have had the AJ fight last April last year in Wembley Stadium. So there are 2 world title fights that Eddie Hearn could have potentially, well, one really, that Eddie Hearn definitely could have delivered to Dillian Whyte, but it was Dillian Whyte who decided, I'll go in another direction. No thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. So, in terms of Frank Warren saying that he'd have Dillian Whyte fighting for a world title by now, well, Eddie Hearn could have done it as well. It was the fact that Dillian Whyte didn't want to. He wanted to go into the WBC route. In terms of Frank Warren, well, Dillian Whyte probably wouldn't be that highly ranked with the WBC if he was a Frank Warren fighter. Maybe he would, but more than likely he would be number 1, if not mandatory, for the WBO, because Frank Warren has had a very, very good relationship with the WBO over the years. In terms of the WBC, apart from Tyson Fury, do many of his fighters get ranked that highly by the WBC? When you think about it, I'm just trying to think. I mean, some WBC titles that Frank Warren, I can't think of many. He's definitely had some IBF title fights, some matches with the IBF. He's had loads of WBO. You'd probably lose count of them all. But in terms of WBC, how do you think of many? Off the top of my head, anyway. None that spring to mind, anyway. So that's what Frank Warren's having to say. He's trying to basically big himself up and say that, if Dillian Whyte was with me, things would be different. Well, Frank Warren has failed to deliver Billy Joe Saunders fights. He's failed to deliver plenty of fights over the years, And Billy Joe Saunders, although some people might say he's not doing much better with Eddie Hearn, obviously the first fight on the KSI, Logan Paul on the card, that was a bit of a shit show. But still, he could, if it wasn't for all this that's going on in the world, he would have fought Canelo in May. And we all would have liked to have seen that fight. I actually have a video coming up about Billy Joe that I'm going to record straight after, and one of the reasons why I'm kind of looking up constantly is because my phone's about to die and I want to make sure that I'm not talking into a dead phone, because I have done that before and it's not fun. It's not nice, especially when you've started the video and the phone dies and you've just rambled on like an idiot for 5-10 minutes. So that's what Frank Warren basically saying, that he thinks that Dillian Whyte, if he was with him, he would have fought for a world title already. And as I said, Dillian Whyte's had opportunities to fight for a world title. He's turned them down. He wants this crack at the WBC. And, as I said, I can see it going two ways. Either option one, he wins his case, but if he doesn't win the fight, then he might find it very hard to get ranked again. And then option two is that the court case gets dragged out with the WBC and he's waiting for 2 years. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts on what Frank Warren has said. Do you think things would have been different if he was with Frank Warren? Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, I will talk to you